Remember the Duke Lacrosse team that was accused of violently raping a stripper back in 2006? Well, that same stripper has now come out and admitted that she completely made it up. While the media and activists drag these young men's names through the mud, they shall remain without consequence or accountability. Now, I'm going to start off this video by reading a story that was back from 2006. But after that story's read, I have all kinds of video and tape, including the confession of the woman who made the false accusation. Stay tuned, folks. ABC News. Duke Lacrosse rape claim spurs outrage. March 26, 2006. Following accusations that several Duke University lacrosse team members raped a dancer, a group of concerned Durham, North Carolina residents staged a wake-up call today against sexual assault. Standing in front of the house where the alleged assault occurred, the group beat and banged on pots and pans early this morning to protest the attack. Last week, DNA samples were taken from 46 members of the Duke Lacrosse team. Investigators are trying to identify at least 3 men suspected of raping and beating the woman who was hired to dance at a party. We're not saying that all 46 were involved, Durham Police Corporal David Addison said recently, but we do know that some of the players inside that house on that evening knew what transpired, and we need them to come forward. So far, no charges have been filed against any of the players. The team, which is currently ranked number 2 and has been considered a favorite to win this year's national championship, forfeited 2 games, one yesterday and one that would have been played on this coming Tuesday because of the allegations. If what is alleged is in fact true, it's totally deplorable. Duke spokesman John Burness told ABC station WTVD-TV in Durham this past week. This is not what this institution stands for, nor do we believe it's what our students stand for. According to a search warrant, the victim and another woman went to the university-owned house March 13th when 3 members of the team live. When the men became aggressive, the women left, but another player apologized and convinced them to return. The women returned to the house, but were separated. The victim alleges she was forced into a bathroom and assaulted. The men also allegedly yelled racial slurs at the women.
During spring break, when most of the students at Duke were off campus, the captains of the lacrosse team came up with the not-so-bright idea of inviting 2 strippers to perform for the players. One of them was this woman, Crystal Mangum, who we subsequently learned had very severe mental problems. She arrived, she had no particular interest in performing. It appears as if she was on some sort of combination of alcohol and prescription drugs. And the party relatively quickly turned ugly. There was a shouting match between the other dancer and members of the team. By this point, most of the guys had already left. And then the second dancer, a woman named Kim Roberts, drove off. And in a normal circumstance, no one ever would have heard of this again. But as Roberts drove off, she found out that her fellow dancer had passed out. She called the police to come and get Mangum to take her either home or to a psychological institution. Mangum, when she was awakened by the police, she was going to be admitted to a psychological institution and was prompted improperly by a nurse who asked her whether she had been raped. And Mangum, who knew the system well, said yes. She was sent to Duke Hospital and she made an allegation. We saw a kind of mob mentality that took hold of the activist wing of the Duke faculty, which culminated in an April 2006 statement signed by 88 Duke faculty members called the Group of 88, in which before any charges even had been filed, these 88 faculty members took out an ad, a full-page ad, in the Duke campus newspaper. They unequivocally asserted that something had happened to Crystal Mangum. She was claiming rape. The lacrosse players said nothing happened. They said that they would continue their activism regardless of what the court decided or what the police said. And they thanked public protesters for not waiting and making themselves heard. And the highest profile public protest that had occurred at that point had been a march in front of the captain's house in which protesters had carried large signs urging the castration of the lacrosse captains. So this was, it was a complete abandonment of any pretense of objectivity, of any interest in the truth.
Hi, everyone. A rush to accuse. That's how North Carolina's Attorney General described the Duke rape case when he announced all charges against the 3 Duke Lacrosse players were being dropped. Questions are now focusing on the woman accuser and the prosecutor, Mike Nifong. But damage has been done to the young men involved, to the reputation of this university, and to the criminal justice system. It will take time to assess fully what happened. When I spoke yesterday with the parents of Reed Seligman, one of the young men who was cleared, their emotions were raw. So was their relief. I would like to know this will never happen again, Kathy Seligman told me, adding that watching this nightmare unfold was nothing less than horrifying. Any parent could understand why, and any American can only wonder why and how such a rush to accuse took place. That's a page from my notebook. I'm Katie Couric, CBS News.
And I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. And that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong. And I hope that they can forgive me.
Well, America, wouldn't you know? They were proven to be innocent in the end. Does this have any relation to the present times in which we find ourselves? Yes. Do you know how this is related? I'm sure you can guess. Look at the smear campaign being carried out against Pete Hegseth. Look at the smear campaign that was carried out against Matt Gaetz. Look at the smear campaign that was carried out against Donald Trump. Look at the smear campaign that was carried out against Judge Kavanaugh. Look at the smear campaign that was carried out against Johnny Depp. Look at the smear campaign that was carried out against Marilyn Manson. I could go on, and then now look at the smear campaign that was carried out against the Duke Lacrosse team. Wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you know? And they say, believe all women, right? No, you do not believe anybody just because they make an allegation. That flies in the face of our American jurisprudence. That flies in the face of our legal traditions here in America. Because in America, you're proven innocent until proven guilty. Except when it comes to the media. And you know what? People need to start suing the media for defamation. Because one thing free speech doesn't cover is lying about someone maliciously to damage their career. That's not covered under the First Amendment. And I'm a First Amendment absolutist, guys. You cannot make up these filthy, despicable lies against men without consequence. Because if you continue to allow these women to make up these lies against men without consequence, you're going to have women making up lies against men without consequence. It's only logical that this follows that line of thought, that philosophy. It's outrageous, guys. These players had their lives dragged through the mud. They were, you saw in the video, there were protesters outside their home calling for them to be castrated. Outrageous. And now this woman admits that she was lying the whole time. Wouldn't you know? Are we going to get any apologies from any of the activists? Are we going to get any apologies from the media? No. Now, Mike Nifong, the prosecutor who committed all kinds of egregious injustices against these players, was later disbarred. Wouldn't you know? The woman who made the false accusations, she was later charged with murder and convicted of murder, of stabbing her boyfriend to death. She had a long history of mental illness, all kinds of things. Her story didn't make sense, obviously. Oh, gosh, guys, I could go on about this forever. and I'm sure I'm not bringing up a bunch of prescient points. Whatever. I'm just going to put it like this. Do not believe all women, and innocent until proven guilty, and let's stop believing the mainstream media. They've proven themselves to be liars 1,000 times over, guys. They are pathological, sociopathic liars. Habitual, chronic liars. Pathological liars. Can't trust them for anything. So when they make these accusations against Matt Gaetz or Pete Hegseth, you know they're lies right off the bat. I mean, as soon as their lips move, you know they're lying. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. And God bless the truth. You know, leftists don't believe in the truth, but the truth is objective. The truth is the truth. So let's start riding with the truth, America. Goodbye for now.